Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. You guys, I need y'all to help me out, okay? I need y'all to help me out and get me to 7,000. So if you like this video, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, okay? And like the video. If you are coming back, thank you for joining me again for another Married at First Sight review. But I need you to make sure that you are still subscribed because YouTube does this thing where they unsubscribe people sometimes. So just make sure you're still subscribed to the channel so that we can hit our goal of 7,000, okay? Anyway, y'all, let's get into it. So, the episode basically picks up exactly where we left off, okay? Miguel and Lindy are still going at it, okay? But this time they're talking to their teammates, okay? And they're explaining their experiences, okay? So Miguel's basically talking about how he realized this weekend he's been very nasty, okay? And, you know, he's just frustrated with her. She's still crying because she feels like he doesn't respect her, and she says that he it's like every time she wants to act out of line, he stops her, and it's controlling. Okay, so maybe he doesn't want you to act a fool, Lindy. Maybe he doesn't want you to, you know, have a fit or an outburst or be crazy. Maybe he doesn't. I'm just saying. And maybe him trying to stop you isn't such a bad thing. But do you think it's controlling? I can't say it's not, okay? He's trying to control your outbursts. That's what's happening, okay? So then Miguel and Lindy decide that they're gonna go to the side and they start talking, okay? So she's just like, you know, yelling at him and telling him, you know, like, you know, I feel like you're being disrespectful, like you're not letting me be me. And you know, were you mad? And he was like, I wasn't mad, I was frustrated. I'm annoyed, I'm not really mad. She was like, but am I wrong for thinking that you're mad? And he was like, no, you were right, but I'm not, okay? I'm just annoyed with everything. So ultimately, she's just happy that he understands where she's coming from. Good, okay? Can y'all let it go? Can we let everything go? Because I'm tired. I'm tired of going back and forth with Lindy and Miguel, okay? One day I'm on his side, one day I'm on her side, one day I'm on his side, one day I'm on his side. And I'd rather just not be on nobody's side because I'm tired of them, okay? So everybody's on their ride home and Alexis is in the car with Justin and she tells Justin, you know, I wish we could be freaky like Nate and Stasia. And he was like, I mean, we could be freaky, babe. And she was like, I mean, but you know, like we got our own little issues. And he was like, you mean that one issue? I mean, it was just one time. And she was like, oh, I mean, okay. He was like, well, I will say this. I do need to work on my stamina. I said, whoop. Oh, okay. So Justin was lying about going all night long. It was Justin the whole time. Got it. Cool. So then she was like, so do you think they have a machine for to improve the thrust? I said, oh, he ain't hitting it right. Child, this is why Alexis is unsure. This is why Alexis don't know if this is what she wants and if this is going to work out. Because baby girl ain't getting hit right. But I will say this. I feel like it was not the right time nor place for her to bring it up. I am totally okay with having open lines of communication when it comes to your sex life because don't nobody want to be in a relationship where they having bad sex, okay? But I feel like there's a time and place for everything. Although the camera crew wasn't physically there, she knows that the camera was physically there. There are plenty of times I'm sure that they had conversations where the cameras and all the stuff wasn't happening around them where they could have had this conversation in private, okay? The same way they had that text message conversation about how he needed some affirmations and reassurance and everything is the same way she could have texted him about wanting to get a little freaky in the bed, okay? So they can have a little bit of privacy. But taking it to Alexis to go ahead and put all the business out there like she does all the time, I wonder how many things Justin can say about Alexis that he doesn't. I wonder how many times he could like strike her ego down, but he doesn't, okay? Because every chance she gets, she makes it known that there's an issue with Justin, okay? He can't take off a bra. He ain't got no stamina. He needs some help with the thrust, okay? We get it. We got it. Good. So Mitch and Kristen are back at the apartment and they're talking and, you know, Kristen asked him what's his best part of the trip. And he was like, you know, the best part of the trip was just actually, you know, seeing you be comfortable and having fun. And I really feel like we got over some hurdles in this, during this trip and everything. And they really seem to be like vibing really good. And I'm saying like, look at Mitch trying to step up. Okay, Mitch, I'm going to let you slide as long as you keep behaving yourself, okay? But we find out that Mitch is about to go on a trip, okay? And he's going to be going for, I guess, a couple of days or so that he's really ready to experience what this is going to feel like. And he's hoping that he realizes that he misses her, and he wants to come back home and spend more time with her and things like that. I think this is good for both of them because it will help Mitch realize how much Kristen has made an impact in his life, and vice versa. And I think, honestly, all the couples should go at least 2 or 3 days without each other towards the end, just to really feel what it would feel like to not have that person before they make this decision. So I think this was great for Kristen and Mitch to actually have this time apart so they could see how they feel without each other. And if, everything that they've been feeling and going through the emotions, if it's worth staying together, like, do I really feel like I need this person in my life? How much of a void do I feel when you're not around? Because that's a big, big thing. Because, of course, the first day you be like, it's cool. The second day, it's like, where my boo at? Where my boo? I need you to come home. Come home. Because honestly, y'all, I got separation anxiety, okay? My husband can't be gone for more than like 3 hours without me getting ready to be like, what's going on? Where are you? You coming home yet? Okay. But that's just my own thing that I'm working through, okay? The only time that I'm complacent with being away from him is when we working. That's it. Other than that, I feel like you need to be here with me, up under me all the time. I know he tired of me, y'all. He tired of me. So anyway, Stasia takes Nate to go see the house that she built her, because remember, she was building him a house, okay? So the house is absolutely beautiful, okay? It's something straight out of a magazine. It's a beautiful house. But I'm like, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good, because Sassy is already putting her foot down with the rules. Don't touch this. Don't do this. Don't leave dishes in the sink. Make sure you fill it, the toilet tissue back up. I'm going to put a sign that says, leave the toilet seat down, which is all understandable to a certain extent, but you have to remember that it's a home and you're supposed to live in your home, and sometimes you may leave a dish in the sink or so, okay? And at the end of the world will not happen because there's a dish in the sink. Just be responsible for yourself, clean up, and move on with life, okay? But I feel like the emphasis she's put on her OCD is gonna be annoying. It's gonna be annoying. It's gonna be a lot, okay? So when they sit down, they start talking about having children. It's like she lives in this delusional land where she feels like, I'm gonna train my kids not to go in this room, not to go in this room, and not to do this. Like, you have a whole house and you gonna tell your kids they can't go in rooms? Okay? And he's like, what if they draw on the wall? What if they do this? And I'm like, that's what kids do. What if they spill something? That's what kids do. You can't be mad at a child for spilling juice because kids spill juice, okay? I remember I told y'all my daughter came to me and asked me, could she draw on her door? And I was like, for what? Why do you want to draw on your door? And I specifically told her no, came in and she drew on the door. And I'm just like, for what, Milan? For what? So as much as we want to be like, oh, we're going to teach our kids this and we're going to teach our kids that, these kids gonna do what they want to do. Just plain and simple, okay? Now, how you handle and discipline them is completely up to you and how you want to deal with your children. But what I will say is that these kids is gonna do what they want to do. Okay, especially when they're at that young age where they can't really understand right from wrong, or they really can't really grasp the importance of like keeping things clean and not, messing up nice things. They don't understand that. All they know is that they want to do what they want to do when they want to do it. Especially them toddlers, okay? Them terrible tools ain't nothing to play with. So then we see Justin finally go pick up Maya, y'all. And I was so happy to see Maya, #free Maya. Maya gets to come out. She is a beautiful dog. She looks happy. They having a good old time. And I'm like, it's just so sad that he's about to give this dog away, okay? His best friend is coming to pick up the dog today. And I'm just like, oh, this is so sad. Okay, Alexis don't even want to come to the house because the dog is there. I'm like, yo, she gets on my nerve. She gets on my nerve. She gets on my nerve. The man is giving his dog away and you still don't even want to just stay in the house for a day or so just to be with this man because the dog is there. Like, she's the ultimate a-hole. The ultimate a-hole, okay? So when Justin's friends come, they sit down talking. He's like, well, I have to choose between my dog and my wife, and I chose my marriage. I chose my wife as a husband. I have to protect her, and this, that, and the other. So I am doing this. This is my sacrifice to let her know I am all in, okay? Alexis decided that she's going to show up to support Justin, which I really feel like was unnecessary because did she really support him? Maybe not, okay? They got the dog, wrapping up all his stuff, and the car looked comfortable for the dog, but you could just sad. It was sad. It was sad. It was sad. It was sad. Okay. Maya looked sad. Justin crying. Okay. The friend is sad. Alexis just standing there with his stuff like, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Y'all, I was sad. I was sad. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way I'm giving up my dog for Alexis. And I'm not even a dog girl, but I could just tell you something about it just did not sit right in my spirit when I saw that dog leaving. But the good news is that the dog is leaving with a friend. So when this marriage don't work out and they say no on decision day, or when we get to the reunion and they not together, Justin gonna have his dog, okay? He did not sell it to nobody. He did not give it away to somebody. He literally sent that dog with his best friend, and his best friend's gonna give him back his dog when all said and done, okay? So I'm fine with the smart decision of not like selling that dog or leaving that dog somewhere or giving it to somebody. I'm fine with, you know, entrusting someone that you know is going to give you your dog back when this is all said and done, because baby, it's definitely going to be all done. Okay? So Alexis and Justin is sitting on the table, is sitting on the couch talking, and you know, Alexis got her back to him, and she's like, I just want you to know that I'm here for you, if anything you need. And he's like, I just need you to understand that this was the sacrifice, baby. This was me showing you that I am committed. This was me showing you that I am all in 100%. I have made the ultimate sacrifice for you. Okay, I gave up my dog. She's like, I mean, I could not understand. She was like, I mean, I could never understand how you feel, because I would never give up my dog. But I definitely appreciate it. And I can imagine. I was like, exactly. Alexis would not sacrifice her dog for you. Alexis would not make the ultimate decision to choose you over her dog, Justin. And that just shows how much she cares, okay? Because she already plain out told you that if she had to choose between you and that dog, she is choosing that dog the same way she chose to leave with that dog and stay with that dog when your dog came back and this, that, and other. She's not leaving her dog for no one. I say both of y'all send the dogs with your friends and go get a dog together. Start fresh. Everybody start fresh. I'm sacrificing, you sacrificing. She's talking something, as long as you don't hold this over my head, like you can't hold this. Oh, I'm holding this over your head, sis, okay? Because I need you to understand the level of commitment that I am, the level of commitment that I have made to this marriage. So for her to be sitting there talking about, just don't hold it over my head. Child, bye. Go ahead, Alexis. This was not the time nor place to be bringing up how you feel about anything, okay? This man just gave away his dog that he had for 9 years, and he just met you 6 weeks ago, and you talking about some, I could never, but I could imagine. With your back turned to him, instead of actually being facing him and holding him and consoling him and telling him that you appreciate what he did and you know this was hard for him and you really, you know, go and make this up to him the best way you can by proving that this sacrifice was worth it. But instead, you want to turn around, don't hold this over my head, and then turn back around. Girl, go to bed. She is playing in his face. I am so happy that Justin is starting to open up his eyes and realize what kind of game she is playing, baby, because homegirl is playing games. And I am upset that I almost fell for it in the early beginning of this season. Because y'all, remember, I was here for the Alexis of it all. But now I'm saying here like this is some bullshit. Complete BS, okay? So anyway, Kristen and Luna FaceTime Mitch, okay? And Mitch is out there living his best life. You can't tell him he not. She on the phone outside, hey, it's your girls. It's your girls. And he's like, hi. He's like, I miss you. I miss y'all. And she's like, you miss the snoring? You miss Luna snoring? Yes or no? Yes or no? And he like, no, but I do miss y'all. Okay? I think that it was so cute here how he was saying like he missed actually, you know, waking up and having coffee with her, and he missed taking Luna on the walks. I think this is healthy for them to have this apart time, because it really shows the impact that, you know, someone has in your life, and it gives you a balance of like, you know, that, you know, wife, that family dynamic versus that single dynamic that he probably was wondering if he's missing, okay? Which I do feel like Mitch is low-key missing that single life, okay? But he does like parts of having a wife. We just gonna have to see how this all plays out towards the end, okay? So I think it was so funny because Kristen gonna tell that man, Kristen said that he's a good father figure for the dog. I said father figure. See, y'all dog people be doing too much. And don't come fight with me in the comments. I'm just saying, the father figure, can he really be a father figure for the dog? I don't know. I really don't know, and I could not tell you. But anyway, So Miguel and Lindy are working out, and well, not really working out. Miguel's working out and Lindy's being his cheerleader. Lindy is annoying. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. She's annoying, okay? Like, baby, I don't need you standing here talking something. Yes, you got it. Pick it up. Do this, okay? I'm annoyed for Miguel. But then again, Miguel might like it because remember, he wanted a cheerleader, okay? So she's on the sideline cheering him on to lift up some weights and do some push-ups. Child, it was a whole thing. And I was annoyed watching it because she annoys me. Something about Lindy's voice annoys me. It's the way she ends her sentences, the way she says her words, the pitch in her voice, all of it just annoys me. And it's draining. And I tend to like zone out every time she starts going on these tangents that she going, okay? So anyway, they get back to the apartment and she got her insurance card. Hey girl, your insurance card is here. You could go to the doctor now. She like, yes, I could go to the doctor. You could get hit by a car now. Yes, I could get hit by a car now. Child can't with her, okay? So anyway, she's telling him how much better she feel about, maybe taking that last name now because this definitely, proves to her, but she really not sure. And he's like, well, now I'm starting to wonder, like, if you're all committed. She was like, well, my doubt comes from you, okay? Because you keep trying to basically get ready to run every time something doesn't go your way. So I feel like maybe I should, hold off because at any given moment you can leave. It's not me. I don't want to leave, but I feel like you could leave, and that's what's you holding me back from changing my last name. I mean, at this point, girl, if he got the insurance, you change the name, y'all go ahead and be happily ever after, because I can't, I won't, and I'm not gonna keep dealing with y'all. And it's back and forth about whether or not he loves you, you love him, you staying, she's staying, y'all staying, this one's that way, this one's this. I'm tired of y'all because half the time y'all be arguing about nothing. A lot of the time, most of the time, majority of the time, okay? You literally force this man to give you insurance, and you still want to you still want to go back and forth about the name. He did his part, you do your part, and move the F on, okay? Hyphenated, sis. Just go ahead and hyphenate it like you said so y'all both could be happy. This shows that you committed, and that shows that he's committed. Now y'all both got investments in each other, okay? So anyway, so Justin and Nate go to work out, and Stassi and Alexis go to do some yoga, okay? So Stassi is telling, Alexis that, she and Nate are like trying to figure out this whole situation about moving in and how she really wants him to feel a part of the process, okay? But I would tell you this, she didn't make him feel wanted in that process, okay? Even though she took that man to the store and let him look at some things and touch some stuff, she really had no plans on, picking anything that he picked, okay? She says that, it is going to be a combined, decision at the end of the day, okay? She wants what she wants, and he's going to kind of just have to agree. Because it is his house too, but technically it is her house. Child. Y'all need to go ahead. This is why it's hard to like try to be, so independent and do everything on your own, because when you purchase such a beautiful, big house on your own, and then you get married to someone and they have to move into that house and your name is on the deed, it is always your house no matter what, okay? And that man can't even pick out a doorknob, a handle, and your kids can't run in this room, okay? So I don't know how this is going to work out. I just don't. They haven't really figured it out yet, but they trying to. They trying to get there or whatnot, okay? So when we sit down and we listen to Alexis, and we listen to Justin tell their sides of the story, Justin talks about how he sent her text messages because he needed some assurance, some affirmation. Hey, would you do you feel like you're gonna say yes on decision day? Okay, she goes over there. She's like, he sends me a text message, talk about something. Am I going to say yes on decision day? But mind you, it's a text message in the middle of the day. I'm at work, right? So he's like, she's just basically deflecting. Like, you asked me to be patient, so I'm being patient. Like, instead of just giving this man an answer, he's like, I was under the assumption that we talked about me giving up my dog, and that would be a sign for us to, stay together. This is the issue that I'm having right now, is because you sat there, Alexis, and you told, I think it was Dr. Pia, when you was talking to her about how he needs to stand on his word and he needs to do what he says he's going to do. And he did that. And he proved that to you. But you have not yet done anything to prove or stand on your word about nothing you said, okay? That's why Nate was in the confessional like, she's a liar. She's so vocal about everything else, but she can't say anything. She's playing him. She's a liar. And I was like, if Nate ain't going to do nothing, they going to tell the truth, and I believe him. I believe him 110%. Alexis cut the BS, baby. Cut it out, because every chance you get, you willing to go tell everybody else everything wrong with him. You want to talk about his sex game. You want to talk about all this stuff, but you can't give this man an answer. You can't be honest with him. See, she does this thing where she blames it on Justin, like, oh, he tells parts of the truth and he doesn't tell it all. The same way you do it, Alexis. The same way you had that man believing that you was in love with him and you're not. You may have love for him, but you're not in love with him. You never intended on making this marriage you never intended on going past decision day, okay? You didn't like him when you saw him. His sex game is whack according to you, and he's too emotional for you. So why are we playing these games with this man, and why is you letting him get rid of his dog? Child, I just can't with her, okay? I'm with Nate on this. She's a liar. She's a liar, and she's playing games with him, and she's playing him. And I'm happy that Justin finally just figured it out, because he said, I made up my mind, okay? I am literally at a 90% no. Now, that caught me off guard, because I didn't see Justin going to 90% no. I kind of thought he was going to be like, I'm leaning towards a no. But when he said 90%, baby, that's a lie. That's a lie. Okay, and I'm happy for him. Don't sit around and let that girl play in your face any longer. And you can tell by the way that he's finally starting to see who she is by how she responded to this man giving up his dog. She in her confessional talking about something. I'm just trying to figure out if I could tolerate him for the rest of my life. And I mean, I probably shouldn't use the word tolerate, but that just says a lot in itself. Exactly, because at this point, you're tolerating him until decision day. That's all. So Nate and Stacia go on a nice little hike, and I think it's so cute, okay? I'm like, a hike looks like it's fun and refreshing, but when you hike up, you gotta hike down, baby. I ain't got time to be going both ways. Okay? But anyway, as they start talking about like what fun and having kids look like as a whole, okay? They get to this little picnic area where he set up this whole guacamole and chip little thing, and it's so cute, okay? They're gonna make some guac and eat some chips and talk about, having kids and stuff. It sounds good, right? But I can honestly understand what Stacia is saying when she's saying, like, I don't want to just be boring parents. Like, I want to have fun. I want to travel. I still want to do things, okay? But I also understand Nate, okay? Nate's like, no, I want to be, like, really present for my kids. I want to be there, especially from the ages of 0 to 3, which I think is very, very important. Only because, like, especially right now in the world that we're living in, with all these viruses and everything going around, like, keep them kids at home. Okay, let them play in the backyard. Get some grass out there instead of that cement that you're trying to put down, and let them kids play in the backyard, okay? And I totally understand both of their, sides. You can still go on dates. You can still have y'all time, but you have to, invest a lot in a child at such a young age, You have to start teaching them how to talk, how to walk, how to use the bathroom. You want to, give them that time, attention, and love that they deserve, especially at such a young age. So I'm totally understand what Nate is saying, and I get what Stacia is saying too. They just have to find a balance, okay? So they start talking. She asked him, is he excited or is he nervous about moving in? And he says he's nervous, of course, because, like, this is her house. Like, I don't know, like, how it could be if we decide not to be together. I could be homeless. You can kick me out at any given time. And she's like, I would never kick you out. Yeah, it's easy to say you would never kick me out until the time comes when you want to kick me out, okay? She's like, but we live together now, and we, we get on each other's nerve now. Yeah, but it's going to be totally different when them cameras not around, okay? It's going to be totally different when we can't call Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal at any given moment to come give us some advice, okay? It's going to be different when you get upset and walk away and, the producers ain't running behind you telling you to come back and talk to me. So I totally understand that. She's like, so what can I do? What you could do is put his house, what you could do is put his name on the deed. Now, girl, don't go put that man's name on the deed, but what I'm saying, that's what you could do. I'm just giving you an option. I'm just giving you an option, okay? We all know that's never going to happen. But she asked, and that's what I would have said, okay? But I just feel like they both want the same thing. They just lost in communication. And I really feel for Nate because as a man coming into the situation with a woman who's so self-sufficient, it's kind of like, where do you find your voice? Where do you put your foot down? How do you lead someone who's already led herself to this place where she wants to be? And it's like, now you're just a piece in her puzzle instead of y'all, bringing y'all pieces together. So I can understand his fearfulness, and I don't think Stacia is the type of woman to be like, get out of my house, but you never know. You never know. All I know is that Nate better not do nothing disrespectful or, out of line, because baby, you gonna be homeless. Trust me. She say she won't kick you out, but trust me. Do something disrespectful out of line, baby, you going on the streets. Just saying, okay? So Miguel and Lindy and they friends is about to play Dungeons and Dragons, y'all. This is the dumbest, stupidest game ever. Like, it's just dumb. I mean, they telling stories and they moving pieces and little things are revealing themselves. Something about a dwarf opens the door and something about a devil reveals himself. Miguel telling stories about how he was about to get married but didn't get married, but the wedding is still going on and all types of stuff. And, Lindy was like, hold up. I feel like he's talking about us. But then again, maybe not. I was like, no, he giving you low-key hints, girl. He's definitely giving you low-key hints. Take them, okay? You hear him. If you felt like it was about you, it probably was. Anyway, but no, it's a hard no for me. I'm gonna pass on the Dungeons and Dragons. You can have your Dungeons and Dragons. That can be your thing. But I'm gonna sit this one out because it was too much. Like, why is we calculating stuff? What is this? What happened to the regular games? Why we can't play charades, gestures, Monopoly? We can't play Sorry. Like, why are we over here playing Dungeons and Dragons at our grown age? Telling stories of mystical, magical dragons and, dwarfs and whatnot and fake weddings happening to people. It's a lot. It's a lot and I don't like it. I'm like, baby, I understand that this is your thing and you can have this thing without me, okay? I do not need to be a part of this for you. Okay, but Lindy gonna give it a shot. She gonna give it a shot because she wants this to work with Miguel. So Mitch is home and Mitch goes to pick up Kristen so that they can go surfing and whatnot. And Mitch is talking about how he's so hungover and how he had a hard time and a good time and everything was great and it was a lot of people there, but he was more social than he's ever been and this, that, and the other. And Kristen was like, okay. So where's your ring? Forget all that. Where's your ring? He takes out the ring and he's like, oh, no, I'm married again. And she was like, so you didn't wear your ring the whole time? He's like, nah, because it was going to be a whole thing. It was going to be a whole thing. I didn't want to explain it. I understand not wanting to explain to everybody that you got married at first sight, so I'm not too mad at it, okay? But she felt some type of way. It's obvious she felt some type of way. And Mitch don't help, okay? Because Mitch is like, yeah, there was girls. There was a ton of girls. There was only like 2 guys and a bunch of men, and they was beach babes and this, that, and the other, which really makes me feel for Kristen a little bit because she knows that those are the type of girls that he likes, okay? It's one thing to know that your man is out around females at a work thing and it's like, okay, cool, like whatever, he chose me, whatever, he's content with me. But I feel like a part of her in her back of her brain is thinking, this is the beach girls that he says he like. These are the ones that he, that he really would pick. The girls who are about the environment, the girls who, want to be surfers and, carefree and, all that other stuff. So I feel like it was a little bit of jealousy that she was feeling. She just didn't want to admit it and she was being cool with it. And his sarcasm is too much for me because, baby, once you would have told me you was married again, okay, and then you would have told me that you was in a hot tub with a bunch of girls and all types of stuff, I would have been too through. I'd have been too through, okay? Ain't but so much playing and jokes that you could make till I start believing you. But I will say, seeing Luna on that daggone surfboard was the cutest thing. I said, okay, father figure in the dog. Out there on that surfboard, just surfboard. It was so cute. I love it. And I was like, oh, look at Luna. It's like a cute little family. I love it, okay? And I was like, Dad, Kristen about to lose her dog. Kristen about to lose her dog to daggone Mitch and the waves, okay? But it was so nice to it was so nice to see them together having a good time with the dog and everything. I feel like this is starting to grow on Mitch, and I really hope that this can work between the two of them because although they had a rocky start, they do seem to really mesh well, and they do seem to really kind of want the same things and be invested and interested in the same things. I think if Mitch learns how to compromise a little bit more for Kristen, this could be great. This really could be great. So meanwhile, back over at Lindy house, she's letting loose on her friend. Okay, y'all say it was venting. I say it was letting loose. Okay, she was just like, this last week was horrible. It was horrible. He's so controlling. Okay, He actually said, like, he's actually mad and he's offended that I interrupt him sometimes and I'm emotional and I yell and I'm aggressive, okay? It's like, that's what defines me as a human being. Child, I had to rewind it. I had to rewind it because I had to make sure that's what she said. She literally said that he's controlling, okay? She said he actually said that he's offended, that she interrupts him, that she's aggressive, that she yells, that she's too emotional, okay? And she said, well, that's what defines me as a human being. How could you not understand, for the life of me, Lindy, that being aggressive, yelling, being overly emotional, okay, actually interrupting someone is rude? Like, what part of, like, how do you list all the negative things about yourself and put them out there like they're great and that someone has to accept that about you? Absolutely no. You need to do a better job at controlling your emotions. You need to do a better job at controlling your tone. You need to do a better job at not interrupting him. You need to do a better job of not being aggressive instead of expecting someone to just accept you for all of those things. Those are not good character traits that people need to accept from people. Okay, every now and then we interrupt, every now and then we are aggressive, and every now and then, you know, we overly emotional. But this is all the time with you, Lindy. It's all the time, and it's nonstop. And the part that scares me the most is that you keep saying that you have not let loose on him yet. And if this is not you letting loose, then baby, what is? Okay, her friend was just sitting there like, well, maybe you need to just tell him all of that. She's like, but I'm scared he's going to leave me. He's going to be upset with me. Well, then if that's the case, then he's not the man for you. No man is going to be for you if you think someone's about to tolerate all of those things, Lindy. I keep trying to tell you, girl, you have to learn how to do some self-work on yourself, okay? So that you don't continue to think that having these outbursts and wanting to be wild and out of control is cute, because it's not. It's toxic, okay? And I'm not upset for Miguel being upset about it, okay? But so Miguel's telling his friends that he do feel bad for, expressing his doubts and stuff like that, because she takes it as him not being invested. She takes it as him wanting to leave the relationship, and he doesn't really want to leave the relationship. He really wants to make this work, but he also wants her to see that her behavior is not acceptable. And I completely and totally agree with that, okay? So Stasia and Nate are back at their house, and Nate wants a clear understanding of what this fun looked like, okay? So it comes down to that Nate really thinks that when she talks about fun, he's thinking that she wants to go out. She wants to be neglectful to her kids. She wants to party all night long, okay? She wants to get drunk. And she's like, I don't do those things now. Why do you think I would do those with kids, okay? So really he's projecting his, his fear of what his mother did to him and how she, basically was up and out. How she basically just neglected them, neglected him and, left the father and things like that. And he doesn't want her to have in his mind this idea of like, oh, you want to go have fun, and he's stuck with a child, okay? She's like, you have to understand how I feel about, my father issues and things like that, and not having my parents and, stuff like that. I would never, ever do that to my children. So I really feel like once they start really opening up to each other and they really have those deep conversations, they can see where they're coming from, and they have a better and clear understanding. You could tell that Stasia was a little bit hurt because she's really like, why did he think that? Like, why would he think that I would be out here getting drunk and partying and hanging out and stuff like that? Like, that says a lot. Like, that's what he thinks about my character. And it's not that he thinks that about your character. It's just that he's projecting his own feelings and emotions from what he's been through on you because he knows nothing else. So it's good that you understand this about him, so now that you two can really talk and really get down to the bottom of it. You want him to go deep? I feel like he's going deep. Now you have an understanding. Now y'all can talk it out. And now he knows that, going out and having fun could consist of us going to Chuck E. Cheese with the kids, okay? Going out and having fun could consist of us going to the movies with the kids, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that I need to go out and be partying and hanging off the ceiling and, popping on a handstand. It literally just means I don't want to be a boring mom. I don't want to be a boring father. I want us to actually go places and do things and not let our world revolve around the kids kids, but invite the kids into our world. And I think that's beautiful. Sometimes as parents, you get so caught up in having your kids that you forget to live your life. And before you know it, your kids is grown and you sitting there like, where did the time go? What did I do with myself? Nothing but raise kids. So Justin, Alexis, Mitch, Kristen, they go meet up and hang out, okay? So Kristen brings up the fact that Mitch was out there in the hot tub with the girls with no ring on. She says it's not a big deal, but it's a big deal because she keeps bringing it up, okay? He just says that he didn't want to explain to everybody, I married at first sight. I got a wife now. I know last week I didn't, but this week I do. He just didn't want to go through the motions, this, that, and the other. Alexis is like, but if you don't have to go into it, you could have just wore the ring. Alexis, shut up, because I don't hear you talk. I just don't want to hear you talk, okay? So then they get on, Justin and Alexis, their conversation, she, about how, he finally, about how he gave the dog away, okay? And, that was the ultimate sacrifice that she made for him. And she's like, I don't want that to be the only reason why, you feel like I should say, yes, you should want to be in this relationship because, this, that, and the other. I feel like she's told him that she feels as if her decision is going to impact his decision. And it absolutely should. This is what I mean, Alexis. It's like she's playing games. What do you mean your decision shouldn't impact his decision? It should. Why would I choose someone who's not going to choose me? If you can't give me an answer and tell me that you actually want to be with me, why should I choose you? Okay? She's saying she's 90% in. And, Mitch was like, well, is 90% enough for you, Justin? Justin was like, no. And it should not be. I don't want no one who's 90% in with me. Because that gives you 10% to cheat, 10% to lie, 10% to be unloyal. I don't need 90. I need 100%. So for you to sit there and make it seem like your actions or your decision should not play a part in his decision, it definitely should. You want him to be out there. I'm 100% Alexis, so you could be 90%. So you could have one up on him. So you could say no on decision day and he say yes. You're a fool. You're a fool if you really think that this is how it's supposed to go. Alexis got her head so far up her behind, she can't even realize how effed up that it sound out loud. Ain't no way in the world I'm going to sit there and be like, 90% is enough. No, 90% is not enough. Okay? And the way that they sit there is like every marriage is not perfect and every marriage is perfectly fine. Okay? But that's why you have to be 100% in. Because if you're only 90%, that gives you 10% leeway to not fight for your marriage. That gives you 10% leeway to not care about your marriage, which is why you need to be 100% in. Okay? 100% committed, okay? 100% loyal. Not 90, not 80, not 99.9. 100%. So I don't want to hear it, but it's 90%. It sounds good. No, it doesn't sound good. It sounds like zero to me. I'm just saying 90 sounds like zero. I don't want nobody who's 90% into me. I don't want nobody who's 90% sure about me. You need to be 100% sure about me, baby. You can still not like some stuff about me, but know deep down that you are 100% sure that I am the one for you, okay? Kristen says she's looking at it as, do I want to continue what I've been doing for the last 8 weeks? And I think that's a good way to look at it. Because ultimately, this is the outline and the foundation of your marriage. Okay, the good, the bad, the ugly, the working it out, the arguing, the fussing, the fighting, the tussling, the making up, the love making. All of that is what real marriage is. So the good thing about, whether or not you want to continue what you're going through says, am I willing to continue to work on this marriage? And I love that for Kristen, okay? And I think if she thinks about it, she'll start sorting out the good and the bad. And if the good outweighs the bad, then she could go ahead and decide to move on. And if not, then she could go ahead and move on with her life. So I think that's a good way to look at it. Now, if I was Justin, I would leave Alexis in the dust. I would leave her in the dust and go pick up my dog tonight. Okay? But y'all know we got one more week for them to figure it out. Just one. So Miguel and Lindy is back at the apartment and Miguel's pissed off by every right he should be, okay? Miguel is like, you're trying to make me the villain. And I don't like, I'm not trying to make you the villain. Yeah, you are, okay? He's like, I don't like how, you were being disrespectful towards me and this, that, and the other. It's okay if you want to vent. But like, she was really doing the most. Like she was telling, there's a thin line between what you tell your friends about your spouse. Miguel feels like everything that she was telling her is not beneficial to their relationship, because if she doesn't tell him, then like how are they gonna fix it? How are they gonna fix it? You complaining about me to her is not gonna fix the problem. You need to tell me what the issue is so that we can fix it. But she's so fixated on she doesn't want to let loose on him and this, that, and the other because she doesn't want him to leave. How about you learn how to have a conversation like an adult? How about you learn how to talk to someone without yelling? How about you learn how to express yourself in a healthy manner? There's nothing wrong with having disagreements and talking it out and arguing it and this, that, and the other. But if you feel like you need to be this outrageous to get your point across, there's an issue. No one wants to argue every time we're trying to resolve a situation, okay? Why can't you just say, Miguel, I feel like you're controlling sometimes when I'm in the middle of, in my feelings and you're trying to control those feelings. Sometimes I want to let loose. Sometimes I want to be upset. Sometimes I want to be angry. And I don't want you to stop me from being angry. That's all she's basically saying. I want to be crazy and I don't want you to stop me from being crazy. Which sounds freaking crazy. Okay? So if y'all think that's controlling, then I don't know what controlling is, because I will want someone to help control my temperament when I'm losing control of it. She's crazy. She's literally crazy. And instead of learning how to effectively communicate, she rather argue, yell, scream, be irrational, over emotional, because that's how she gets it out. That's how she gets it out. And that's okay for her to do all of those things. Child, grow up. You're not ready to be married to nobody if that's how you want to communicate with people. I'm tired of her. I am so tired of Lindy, okay? I'm so tired of her crying. I'm so tired of her using them tears. It's too much, okay? And I'm not saying that Miguel is perfect, because he definitely antagonized her, but he's tired of the way that she's been acting. And I don't blame him for being tired of the way she is acting, because she's doing too much, okay? He can't even express how he feels about anything, because as soon as he feels some type of way about how she's reacting to something, she starts crying and running to a corner. Learn how to communicate. That's the issue. Learn how to argue. It's a healthy way to argue. Child, I don't know. But when she said all that stuff about, how he gets offended when she starts interrupting him, and she gets offended when she gets overly emotional, and he gets offended when she's aggressive, and she gets offended when she's doing this, that, and I'm just saying here like, what right person in their right mind wouldn't be offended, Lindy? If Miguel acted how you act, if Miguel said all those things that Lindy had just said about how she gets offended when he gets aggressive, she gets offended when he starts interrupting her, she gets offended when he gets overly emotional or overly heated, y'all would be in an uproar like, what do you mean, Miguel? That's not okay. You can't be treating nobody like that. But Lindy get to sit here and pull out them tears, and now it's like, no, feel sad for her. She just wants to be crazy. Get out of my face. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And that's Married at First Sight, season 15, episode 15. I'm tired of these people, okay? The only couple I'm rooting for is Nate and Stasia, okay? Nate and Stasia is the only couple I'm rooting for. Kristen and Mitch are, starting to show some promise, a little bit of promise. Just a little bit, okay? But I'm just holding on to that little bit and not a lot, okay? And we'll just have to see how this all plays out. With that being said, y'all, don't forget to like this video, okay? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Please, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.